In the late 1920s, the prospect of a Hillsborough High student enrolling in college was bleak. The nation was in the throes of the Great Depression. Businesses were failing, and many of Tampa's beautiful waterfront homes were left abandoned. The principal at Hillsborough High, Frederick Spaulding, didn't see these barriers. He only saw bright young students who were in need of a place to continue their learning. In 1931, collegiate-level courses were offered at Hillsborough High. This would later become the University of Tampa. On August 2, 1933, Spaulding arrived at the doors of Plant Hall with a 100-year lease from the city and a firm resolve, and with the turn of a key, opened the door to the University of Tampa. In its fledgling years, UT was fortunate if it could collect half of the tuition due from its students. It was only through the dedication of its professors, who worked without pay, that the university survived the Great Depression. Over the next several decades, UT grew slightly, enrolling up to 1,800 at times, starting several sports teams, and even began accepting students from other areas of the country. But in the early 90s, the growth seemed to stand still, even stop. UT needed new life, some passion. UT needed strong leadership.
In 1995, Dr. Vaughn became president and UT began to transform. 1,000 UT students has become 7,200, and we are now entering our 17th consecutive year of record enrollment. All the while, UT's academic profile continues to increase. There has been $350 million in new construction since 2000. We have added 7 new residence halls, academic buildings and labs, as well as athletic facilities. Plant Hall even got new carpet and new windows. UT now has more than 3,000 events annually and 200 clubs and student organizations. We have won 13 NCAA Division II championships, and since 2000, Spartan teams have won 35 Sunshine State Conference titles. As a member of the University of Tampa Spartan family, you are a guiding force behind UT's remarkable success. We are alums, students, parents, and friends, and together we are changing lives. We are individuals, yet the greater whole is only complete when we work together. You have helped make UT a vibrant community with growing resources and a superior reputation. Just like in the beginning when professors worked without pay, the spirit of giving at UT remains strong. Last year, nearly $14 million was donated to the university by thousands of generous supporters. When we strengthen education, we strengthen our job force and our nation as a whole. Donations support academics, campus life, and a student's ability to afford an education. Your participation is what matters most and shows that our Spartan family believes in the future of UT. Whatever level of support, your gift is important to us and enables UT to provide the challenging, high-quality education that has defined our university. Thank you for helping UT achieve such great success.
UT's newest facility is the Innovation and Collaboration Building. Here you will find UT's very own Starbucks. In addition,
That's good.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
And welcome, everybody, to University of Tampa Baseball, the final game of a three-game weekend series as the Spartans take on Quincy University. This will be the rubber game of the three-game series. Quincy winning an 8-7 game on Friday night, and the Spartans rebounding very well with a 14-2 win yesterday. Jack Ike along with Taylor Stolworthy, and Taylor, you saw an offensive explosion yesterday.
Indeed, the Spartans doubled their run total from the entire campaign in just one game, or just about so. I think they had about 16 entering the previous game after a strong 7-run comeback. But indeed, the bats were on fire. 15 hits, 14 of them coming home. They actually did, surprisingly, strand about 8 runners in the game as well. But you can't be too disappointed if you're Coach Joe Urso. They took the momentum from the late comeback last time on Friday, and they were able to convert a massive win.
Spartans now 3-1 on the season. This is the season opening series for Quincy. They stand at 1-1. Spartans will have Alex Caney on the mound. His battery mate will be Gutcher, and he is back in the starting lineup as he was yesterday. The sophomore from Tampa, Florida, Danny Gutcher.
Spartans are actually 4-1 on the campaign. It's game number 6 and the closing of the second 3-game series. But indeed, we've got one more 3-game series next weekend, too, when the Spartans take on Maryville. And I believe it's Maryville, New York.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
I believe so.
So interesting to have a Maryville, New York side, but that'll be a fun weekend. And after that, I believe conference play begins for the Spartans.
Yeah, and they will hit the road after 3 consecutive non-conference home games. Let's get you the starting lineups for today's game. For the Quincy Hawks, leading off will be the shortstop, number 3, and that is
Gino
D'Alessio, a junior from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Batting second is the first baseman, number 9, Lance Logsdon, a grad student from Canton, Missouri. Batting third is the catcher, number 8, Luke Napleton, a freshman from LaGrange, Illinois. Stepping in to start is D'Alessio, and the first pitch from Caney is a called strike on the corner. Batting cleanup is the DH, number 24, Austin Simpson, sophomore from Fairfield, Iowa. Batting fifth is the third baseman, number 6, Nolan Wassman, a grad student from Palmyra, Missouri. Second pitch, ball 1-1. Batting sixth is the center fielder, number 22, and that is Brock Boynton, a senior from Mishawaka, Indiana. 1-1, just missing the corner. Batting seventh is the left fielder, Adam Lewis, a sophomore from Cottleville, Missouri. Batting eighth, the second baseman, is number 1, J.D. Ortiz, a junior from Fresno, California. Fly ball. E.J. Cumbo giving chase. It falls in the corner, and heading for second is D'Alessio with a stand-up double. Goes opposite field, puts it off the wall in the corner, and the Quincy Hawks are off and running.
Good job by Cumbo to get to the ball, because if he's a little later on that, D'Alessio could turn to make it a triple. It's always tough to field it at that right field corner. Third base is very far away. That's a tough throw to get the relay in, but good job by Cumbo to make sure D'Alessio couldn't turn it further. He hit a very nice fly ball, and obviously the right fielder maybe not fully shifted over to the right, since you know you're facing a righty. You expect it to go to that left side.
This brings up Logsdon to the lineup. Batting ninth to complete the batting order is number 25, Zach Parks, a senior from Apple Valley, Minnesota. Quincy jumped on the Spartans early on Friday night and ended up with an 8-7 victory, so they jump on the Spartans early today. Spartans jumped on them yesterday early.
In fact, the Spartans were able to hold Quincy yesterday, a few innings without a hit, so I know Quincy will be excited to get that opening hit, and this sacrifice play will move the runner to third. And now they've got to run in scoring position for the home run hitter in Game 1, Luke Napleton.
Yeah. In the first inning of Friday night's game, after a double, he hit one out, got him off to a 2-0 lead, and they never looked back. Setting the defense for the Spartans is Caney is on the mound, Gutcher is behind the plate, E.J. Doskow is at first, Drew Earhart at second, Anthony Nunez at third, J.D. Urso. There's a base. That's going to get a runner in. They're going to get him. Quick throw to Doskow from Earhart, but plating the first run of the game is D'Alessio. Leadoff double results in a run-scoring opportunity.
That was not an easy ground ball for Earhart. It was up the middle. Earhart gets on top of it, and that's the best-case scenario on a play like that. The run scores, but you set it up where there's 2 outs instead of still 1 out and a runner aboard.
Outfield for the Spartans has Jamarcus Lyons in left field, Jordan Lala in center field, E.J. Cumbo is in right.
By the way, for Napleton, gives him a fun stat line. He's only had 1 hit all season, and now 3 RBIs.
2 of them on the home run.
Indeed.
Welcome, everybody. A cool day, a cool windy day in Tampa. At least I know people back in Quincy are not feeling bad for us. There's a base hit down the left field line. Ken Simpson, turn 2. He rounds the corner, deep in the corner as Lyons makes the throw, and Simpson is at second base. Couple doubles.
That one just perfectly down the third base line. Not much you can do if you're Nunez. And Simpson gets his first hit of the season for the Hawks.
Both doubles in the first inning have been opposite field hits down the line. That one scorched down the baseline. The first one was all the way near the wall. But both just stayed fair.
1 on the line, 1 on the ground, and Quincy off to a good start. It was in Caney's last appearance where he also conceded 2 opening inning runs. He was able to finish 3 and a third before, I know, a little bit of fatigue and Urso making the call to the bullpen early. But after conceding those opening base runners, he's forced some quick outs, which I think should give Urso more confidence for a longer appearance. But good base hitting already for Quincy. They can't run any more sacrifices here with 2 away.
Wasman at the plate now. A little bit inside. 1-1. Caney with a look back. Ground ball. Nunez takes a bounce. Tosses it across. Inning is over, but some damage as Quincy plates a run on 2 hits. They leave 1. We played half an inning. Spartans will send up Lala, Earhart, Urso to the bottom of the first on TampaSpartans.tv. Bottom of the first, the Spartans will send up Lala Earhart Urso. On the mound for the Quincy Hawks is Griffin Kern, a lefty. Big kid, 6'3", 225, out of the hometown, Quincy, Illinois.
Indeed, Kern is going to be looking for a good start to the season. The junior previously at Quincy Notre Dame High School had a 6-5 record last season, a 5.85 ERA, but trusted as the team's third in the rotation. 60 innings pitched, 62 strikeouts, and 19 walks in that span. So pretty good in the strikeout front, over a 9 K through 9, which is pretty good. He also had a complete game last year, showing he can go the distance. It'll be interesting to see how the Spartans do, and Lala, the lefty, will lead off.
First pitch is outside. Lala is a senior from Tampa, Florida. Started his career at the University of Miami, went to Steinbrenner High School. Lefty against lefty. Taylor, you mentioned only 2 lefties in the Spartan lineup, so maybe batting accordingly.
I think definitely trying to challenge him with the righty hitters because lefty hitters generally will struggle against lefty pitchers. Nunez, the good news, he's a switch hitter, so he'll be hitting from the right side today. So don't be surprised if you see him batting in a different spot in the batter's box than he usually does as the count goes to 2-1.
2-2. It'll be Lala, Earhart, Urso, Cumbo. Cumbo, the cleanup hitter, then Garavito, Nunez, Daskau, Lyons, and Gutcher. Ball outside. Defensively for Quincy, Napleton is at behind the plate, Kern on the mound. Logsdon at first, Ortiz at second, Wassman at third, D'Alessio at short. And he called him out, strike 3. Lala was ready to head to first.
Keep an eye on that outside corner. 2 strikes in the Lala at bat that were called very close there. I actually think the ball 3 was closer to being a strike than the strike 3 there. But we'll have to see whether for Tampa pitchers and Quincy hitters, that'll also be interesting as we take a look through the rest of the game. Wonder if Caney can catch on and try to locate that part of the zone.
Drew Earhart now stepping to the plate. Outfield for Quincy has Lewis in left, Boynton in center, and Parks is in right.
Tampa had a great day yesterday, but Earhart hitless, although he did draw 2 walks, able to get on base and help the team in that front. Always is a great player defensively for the Spartans, but I know today he would like to get on the hit column.
Early in the season, 263 batting average for Drew. But you also look at he's 5 hits, 19 at bats, but good eye, he's walked 3 times. Strike call.
I was close to being 4, but landed just in that top corner.
The 3-1 pitch. That one is up the middle, base hit. Solid single for Drew Earhart.
That's a big confidence booster for Earhart because throughout the weekend, alongside the Spartan bats in Game 1, he was struggling a little. And in Game 2, he wasn't able to do the most at the plate. But I know that'll be great for him to get going early. And Earhart's another player that, once he gets hot, he can be very hard to stop, just like Urso had a great day yesterday.
Umpires for today's game, Brian Van Vranken behind the plate, Gary Glover out in the field. Earhart with a 1-out base hit. Urso to the plate. As we mentioned, in small sample size, but Urso's in at 278 right now. Strike call.
I've noticed something with Urso. A lot of low pitches to him are being called strikes, but he's also not unusually tall.
Not tall. He's slender, but I don't think he's, what do they list him at, 6 feet maybe? 6'1".
As you know, sometimes tall players, they'll struggle having that extra strike zone to work with.
1-2. Popped up, giving chase is Logsdon, but that one's going to drift out of play. Wind is very strong heading to left field, so I made the comment, I think, be ready for some long ball action today. And yet you said yesterday, 14-2, no home runs.
Yeah, kind of surprised to see no home runs in that game, but definitely today with some of the right-handed power hitters for the Spartans, keep an eye for the long ball.
That was called a ball.
Tough pitch right there to call. And Ableton, a good job framing. He's done a good job trying to position it to make those look like strikes, and I think he's done a good job so far. Couldn't get the call that time.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, though. Down low, 2 down. 2 strikeouts and a base hit for Kern to this point. E.J. Cumbo striding to the plate.
That time, just a really good 2-strike slider, getting it down and inside, and not much you can do for Urso. He's already committed to looking at that one. Or swinging at that one, not looking.
Call strike. Cumbo thought about it. It was up in the zone, outside. Golfs that one foul.
And that, I think, is an E11 down the first base line. First base coach not able to pick it up. I believe it was Quincy or Georgia College that we were mentioning that the first time.
Yeah, the base coach has got to have a number in case they don't field it cleanly. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Quincy on top, 1-0, striking early in this game, as they did on Friday night. Cumbo fouls it off. Quincy had an 8-0 lead over Tampa after the top of the 4th. Spartans made it 8-7, battled back, had the tying and winning runs on base in the bottom of the 9th, and a line shot that was snagged by Logston at first to end the game. That one gets through. Spartans get a win.
Indeed, just a few inches over to the left, it would have tied the game and likely had runners at the corners in that spot.
But you get that big a hole, it's a lot to come back from. There goes Earhart. Ball down. Throw. Slides. Safe. Throw is high and also to the first base side. Earhart went low and got in under it. Cumbo can come up with a hit. We're tied.
Good grab by D'Alessio to make sure it didn't get into the outfield, although Earhart probably was sliding, wouldn't have time to get to 3.
2-2 pitch. Pop foul.
I'll say for Kern, this is a pretty long at-bat. He's going to be over 20 pitches at the end of the first inning, so even if that run gets stranded, it will start to eat into his stamina, which is, I think, pretty good for the Spartans. Coach Schistel said that bullpen wasn't a certainty for Quincy entering the season.
Ooh, but he gets 3 strikeouts in the first. With 1 base hit, Spartans go down. We've played 1. It's 1-0 Quincy over Tampa. Top of the second week. Convert to the next inning. It'll be Boynton, Lewis, and Ortiz, 6, 7, 8, against Alex Caney. Both starting pitchers working out of stretches. There's a fly ball. Lala backing up, jumps at the last second and makes the catch. That must have just kept drifting on him, but he's able to make the catch.
The wind probably gave it a little more carry, although I've noticed it's died down a little bit. The flag, okay, now it's waving a little bit again, but great play in center field by Lala, because if that gets down, that's probably a triple for Boynton. You know, Boynton has a little speed around the base paths.
You get the ball up a little bit in the air on a hit, it's going to carry. It may not be quite as noticeable down low, but you get it up into the currents.
It's always tough with a stream as well. It's hard to really tell because we can't track the ball as well. It's hard to see just how the ball moves in the air. But it really has funky movements in the air, so it's harder than it looks when you're watching a fielder trying to track it in the field.
Lewis to the plate. Ball low. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Just missed that slider, but it looked good, but it didn't get a bite from Lewis.
Struck him out. 2 down. We'll bring Ortiz to the plate. Second baseman.
Ortiz had a couple pinch hit appearances. Hasn't been too successful in those so far, but he did score a run as a pinch runner not too long ago. Excited to get his first at-bat as a member of the starting lineup.
This is the end of the first weekend for Quincy. They go to St. Leo and play a single game midweek, and then go to Rollins for a 3-game series next weekend. Little Florida tour, 10 days down here.
Probably a reason you see a lot of their fans coming down as well. If they're not local, definitely coming down at perfect time for a vacation, and also to see their friends, potentially, their family playing. Mm-hmm. And even though it's cooler today, it's still nicer weather than in Illinois right now.
Yeah, they're probably going, come on, 67 and cloudy? What's the deal? Ball outside. 1 ball, or 2 balls, 2 strikes. Foul back. Gutcher behind the plate for Tampa. Went to Eckerd College before coming here. He is a Tampa product from Gaither High School. That one's in the dirt, swing and a miss. And that'll end the inning. Another strikeout for Caney. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We played an inning and a half. Still Quincy 1, Tampa nothing. Spartans will send up Garavito, Nunez, and Dasco right here on TampaSpartans.tv.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can. And then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Bottom of the second we go. Leading off for Tampa will be Garavito. Griffin Kern, 3 strikeouts in the first inning. Did give up a base hit to Joe Earhart, who got the second and stranded there.
Mentioned he had a bit of stuff in over 9 K through 9 last year, meaning he averaged more than a strikeout an inning.
Ground ball, backhanded by Wasman. High throw, but fielded by Logsdon. 1 up, 1 down. Kern threw 25 pitches in the first inning to get his 3 strikeouts, so efficient start to this inning. You know, they always talk about an immaculate inning and how great that is for a pitcher, 3 strikes, 9 pitches, 3 strikeouts. I think an immaculate inning would be 3 ground balls on the first pitch.
Yeah,
three,
there definitely
3 outs
should
and
be
3
a,
pitches.
Yeah, that definitely should be a different term. I think there probably is a term, but I just don't know it off the top of my head. But that's definitely the perfect inning. You could theoretically finish a game in 27 pitches with that. Of course, this inning won't be a 3-pitch inning, as we've seen Nunez get ahead. Good takes to open up the at-bat.
Ball high. So 3-0 to Nunez, who's been swinging a hot bat for Tampa this year. And he walked on 4.
He was the Spartans' deadliest hitter yesterday, 3 for 4 day with 2 RBIs. So not a huge surprise. They're being a little cautious. They don't want to have him strike too early. But you now have to deal with another pretty hot bat, EJ Doskow. He finally had a really good day with 2 for 3 and an RBI. Quiet start to the season for the Valdosta State transfer, but excited to see him getting to work, and hopefully he can keep this good run up for the Spartans.
Comes in as a .333 hitter, 5 hits, 15 at-bats. First pitch strike. That dreaded leadoff walk, we'll see if they pay for it. Down the line, does it stay? It's going to curve just foul by about 5 feet.
So for 1-out walks in that spot, what's the percentage of those runs
1-out
coming
walks.
home?
Yeah, that's right. That wasn't a leadoff walk. It was a one. Forgot the one pitch at bat.
Maybe lose about 20, 30%,
down,
sadly.
Down about 10, 15, yeah.
Yeah. All it takes is a good dice rolling. That run could make it home.
Yep. Foul back, stays 0-2. Jamarcus Lyons on deck.
Good to see him back in the lineup first time this weekend. Had a pinch hit line out yesterday.
Ball low. Fly ball, heading deep, deep, deep. There's our first home run of the day.
You said it.
E.J. Doskow hit one deep, and a matter of fact, Lewis out in left field took 2 steps and stopped.
I think the only question was, did that need the wind help, or was that just going out from the get-go?
That was well hit, yeah, no matter what. The wind probably gave it a few more feet, but I think it definitely was more than the 321 needed to clear the fence.
It's great to see Doskow hitting with power. First home run of the season, bringing home 2 and giving the Spartans the lead. That's why he was brought in from Valdosta State. He can come up big in these situations, and he just does with a massive 1-out, 2-run shot.
Jamarcus Lyons pops it up. They're going to give chase out into right field. And heading backward, that falls in. Heading for second base and stopping there. That one just totally baffled Parks out in right field. We talked about how bad the wind is, and we said it was blowing to left field, and he was waiting and then had to move to his right, which would be blowing it toward left field. And it was up high enough that I'm sure the wind really wreaked havoc with it.
All I have to do is also look up and see the cloudy sky. That makes it even harder to track.
Yeah.
And it falls right behind Parks. They hold up Lyons at second, but I'll say for Jamarcus Lyons, he needs a bit of BABIP luck. Most of the balls that have been out for him this season have been balls in play, as Gutcher pops this one up. Should be 2 away unless they also miss it.
You can just see them drifting toward left field on anything hit up in the air. 2 down now.
But yeah, previously talking about Lyons, just great for him to finally get a ball that falls the right way in play,
But it doesn't get credit for the at-bat.
And that's a shame. It was counted as an error. So it's going to keep looking bad on his average. But he's been having a lot of good at-bats, a lot of good contact.
Yeah.
If that number regresses to the average of more balls that land in the right spots, I think he'll be another really good hitter that we'll see even more action from. A good start for Lions, so hopefully not too discouraged with the low average early on.
Lala struck out his first time. Taps that foul.
That's a dreaded check swing tip right there.
Yep.
It's a shame because you could tell he wanted to hold up on it.
Coaches are aware of batters who may have a low average who are hitting the ball, just not getting the luck at the moment. And it actually, we can see shadows now. There's some sun peeking through. Nice to see. Lala, high.
That'll be good if we see the sun more when Tampa's on defense, so there's more patches of blue sky for Tampa to use. And then it's more cloudy when Quincy's on defense, so they see a little less.
The pitch. Lala fouls it off. Straight above us, there's some patches of blue poking through.
Don't think they're visible on stream yet, but
no.
As time passes, they might start to come into frame.
You get the beautiful skyline of downtown Tampa here. University of Tampa is an urban campus.
One of the best skylines in college baseball.
Lala goes down for the second time today. Spartans, though, take the lead on a home run from A.J. Doskow. 2-1 Tampa on top after 2 on TampaSpartans.tv.
I pledged. I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Top of the third, we are cruising along in this game, but this time Tampa has the lead 2-1. It will be 9-1-2 for Quincy. That'll be Parks, D'Alessio, and Logsdon.
Parks leading the team, 500 average so far for Quincy and 4 at-bats. And I know that Coach Schissel would love for him to get aboard and try to get Quincy to tie the game here, just having conceded the lead with a 2-run shot from E.J. Doskow in the previous inning.
Just outside. See, I'd be one of those guys who goes, come on, guys, I'm leading the team in hitting. I'm 2 for 4. Anybody else hitting 500? Well, he's upped his average.
Now it's going to be at 600 with that leadoff single.
Yeah, 3 for 5 on the base. Now he's got bragging rights.
Talking about percentages, at least a leadoff single is better for us than a leadoff walk.
Yeah, in terms of percentages of scoring.
Question will be whether Parks decides to get active in the base paths. Haven't seen a lot of stolen base attempts this weekend, though.
No. D'Alessio takes a called strike. That's the third hit off of Alex Caney.
D'Alessio had the first hit off of him. Double back in the first inning.
Tapped it foul. Yeah, he doubled down the right field line, went opposite field, hopped it into the corner. Cumbo tracked it down, threw it in, held him to a double.
It's like he was playing pool. He hit the ball and got it to the corner pocket.
Yeah.
Cumbo got in front of it, but it was enough for extra bases.
Ground ball, base hit down the line in left field.
Think this
Parks
was high.
Heads for third. They're waving him in. They probably aren't going to get the play. Here's the throw. They may get him, actually. They got him at the plate. Nice relay from J.D. Urso. That went Lions, Urso, Gutcher. Perfect tag, got him by a step. I didn't think they were going to get him.
Same. It looked like he was going to be safe, but what a throw from Urso. again, proving all his versatility in the field. He's great in the plate. He's got good speed in the base paths and an absolute cannon of an arm on that relay to get him out by a full step or two as well. That was not a close play, surprisingly.
You had to send him. There was no doubt. And that just took a bang, bang, bang play. Everybody had to do what they had to do.
I know Coach Urso will be loving the combined effort of the entire team. Parks will get to, or D'Alessio will get to second on that play, his second double of the game.
Logsdon to the plate. Two balls, no strikes. And the pitch freezes them, but no call. 4 hits for Quincy today. 3 of them have been doubles. All 3 doubles have been right down the lines.
Yep, one in the left or right corner, and the other 2 hard hit right past the third base.
And a walk, 4-pitch walk. Sends Logsdon to first and brings up Napleton.
A little unlucky for Caney there, but it does open up a double play opportunity and creates a force out at third. So multiple opportunities in the field for Tampa to work. Kind of have to feel rough because the second, third, and fourth balls in that count were pretty close to being strikes with fastballs. Just trying to get the outside corner.
That may be a gapper, and it's going to one hop to the wall. So they're going to send one in, and they're going to hold him up, and another double, and it's 2-2. As Napleton doubles,
I personally
scores Parks, sends D'Alessio to third.
Personally would have thought that would have been a ground rule double going off the net, but it worked the same way with the runner from first getting to third, double on the play, and the runner from second tying the game, making it home.
Well, I saw Lyons put his hands up like, hey, it hit the net. We couldn't tell from here. It looked like it was going to hit the wall, and it one hopped. I don't think it would have, even if they call it a ground rule double, it's still a run.
Exactly. The runner's same spot as they would have been with a ground rule double, so no harm, no foul.
But now 5 hits for Quincy, 4 doubles.
And now, not a surprise, we're going to see a little pitching conference on the mound for Caney, just trying to make sure he's looking all good with this tough spot. The good news is Simpson hasn't been as good this year, but he did get his first hit of the year, a single down the line last time.
So we got a heck of a baseball game brewing here.
Both offenses getting to work early. I know the fans in attendance here will like it. And another decent showing here at Sunday morning. It's afternoon now, 12:33 p.m.
Sam Militello walking back. Simpson to the plate, doubling his first time up. Logsdon on third, Napleton on second. 1 out, top of the third. Ball outside.
I think you do see someone going to get ready in the Spartan bullpen, just stretching, just in case they need to make the change. And I believe we do see one of the catchers, probably Schlichty, heading out to the bullpen. Schlichty had a pinch hit yesterday.
Okay, nice.
Good to see him get on the board.
Whoever was in the bullpen kind of looked down like, catcher? Need a catcher? Foul back. Off the 3-0 pitch.
Caney over 40 pitches now. It's not as bad of a spot as Paul was in at this stage, but Quincy once again getting the pitch count up early for Caney.
Walked him. Bases are full with 1 out. And Wasman coming to the plate.
I think Caney's got to look to the inside of this right-handed hitter more because the outside pitchers on the right side of the plate have been very much batter-friendly because even ones that are borderline for Tampa, they've been usually being called balls. But ones on the left side, they've been more 50-50, a little more help to the pitchers on those outside ones.
So he did just that. Got a swing and a miss strike.
At least with the runner on first, you now have a good double play opportunity with an out at home that always can be interesting to get in plays like this.
Off speed outside. One and one. Foul back. Base is full. Wasman at the plate. 1-2 pitch. Fly ball. Lala's going to drift over. That should plate a run. On the tag is Logsdon. They go to third. Quincy takes a 3-2 lead.
That's deep enough where the sac fly will work every time. And in a spot like this, that's all you need.
Brings Brock Boynton to the plate now with a 3-2 Quincy lead. Hawks scored first. Tampa responded with 2, and the Hawks have responded with 2 of their own here in the third. First pitch, low outside.
I'll say so far it's been a very competitive series between Tampa and Quincy. Game 2 was very much in favor of the Spartans, but Game 1 was a pretty thrilling one after the first 4 innings. I think this one could be back and forth the rest of the way.
Ground ball. Earhart, nice glove. Throws. Safe. Nobody scored. Runners weren't able to do anything more than advance one base. But Earhart saved a run there. I would think more than likely.
Definitely. If it got to right field, they probably would have sent the runner in. Cummins got a good arm, but that would have been a very close play at the plate. So even though it just wasn't a quick enough throw, because it's a hard transition to get the throw off after making a diving grab like that, he was only safe by about a step and a half.
Yeah, he had to range pretty far to his left to get that one. That brings up Lewis to the plate. First pitch, called strike.
If Gainey can just get out of the jam and strand the bases loaded, I know that'll be really good for the Spartans as they bring the bats back up. And the bats had a decent inning last time, getting the game a Spartans lead.
Lewis rips that one. Does Lyon? No, bounces in front of Lions. 2 runs will score, and it's going to be 5-3. Throw to second. Got him in a rundown. Now they've got to watch the runner on third. They finally get the tag out. That should end the inning. It does. But Quincy, with a couple more runs scoring, has taken a 5-2 lead over Tampa with a 4-run third inning. We'll take a break. 5-2 Quincy leads Tampa. Bottom of the third we go. Quincy with a 4-run third has taken a 5-2 lead.
That final play by Lewis getting the 2 RBI single. However, the further damage was limited as he got a little too greedy, tried to get to second, and Tampa was able to defeat him in the pickle.
Drew Earhart will lead off. It'll be Earhart-Urso combo. As the Spartans came back from a 1-run deficit, what do they do now that they need 3 to tie? Kern struck out 3 batters in the first inning, has 4 now for the game. Earhart takes a strike call. Ball outside.
Kern already at 43 pitches, though, and on his first start of the year, could have a little less stamina than, say, Tampa's pitchers that are entering their second starts and longer outings of the season.
Popped up, heading out towards center field. Boynton waits, backs up, and makes the catch.
A little less windy this inning, so couldn't carry as much. But earlier with the wind, we already saw Tampa getting helped by a fly ball with that.
J.D. Urso coming to the plate. First pitch, call strike.
Backdoor slider that time, landing right down the middle for strike one.
Goes inside that time with a fastball. Ball one. Swing and a miss or tipped foul. Regardless, it's strike two.
You know that Urso, remember that two-strike slider that got him last time. Wonder if he's going to be thinking we'll see that or maybe another inside fastball that could be dangerous.
Kern fires. And he was waiting on the fastball that time and drills a base hit into left field. J.D. Urso, one out base hit. Brings E.J. Cumbo to the plate.
Sel Urso was excited about getting that right. Did a little fist pump at first base. And now to bring up E.J. Cumbo, always a dangerous hitter with runners aboard.
Ball low. Cumbo with a big home run last weekend to win a game in the 10th.
It was last Sunday, and I believe it was Urso who got aboard, and Cumbo followed it up with a two-run walk-off.
Out near the scoreboard in right field.
It was a great way to end the weekend of baseball. If Cumbo was able to try to replicate that performance, it wouldn't end the weekend yet, but it would certainly help the Spartans get even closer and cut that deficit to one.
Ground ball, and he bobbled it. He has to go to first just in time to get Cumbo. Ortiz was trying to turn the double play before he got the ball.
They always have to be careful because you need to make sure you're set before getting the lead runner out. Cumbo very close, but not able to get it in front of it. Ortiz recovered in time. But the double play was avoided, and that's the worst case in that outcome. So Garavito has a chance with Urso in scoring position.
Garavito 0 for 1 today. And looks at a strike down the middle. That one's a little low.
That time tried to find the backdoor slider, but just missed the zone barely. The slider's been pretty effective so far for Kern.
1-1. Popped out into left field, and they're going to hold him. And JD's like, Dad, what are you doing to me?
Little father-son disagreement on the base path there, but good call from Joe. He's got the experience because I think JD would have been out by about a step on that throw. Yep. And you can see they're discussing it over at third. No, Dad, I would have made it home.
Yeah. Forgot how fast I am? I think JD hadn't quite picked up the sign or the signal yet. Was more concerned about hitting the base right. When he hit the base, then he saw Coach Urso was holding him up. So runners at first and third.
Now you've also got the very hot bat of Nunez at the plate.
First pitch is a strike.
So you certainly like Nunez because he's had great days. He's converted with runners in scoring position in a spot like this.
Rips that one out to shortstop, and they get the force to end the inning. So Spartans pick up a couple hits, but no runs. We've played 3. It's 5-2, Quincy leading Tampa. We head to the top of the fourth inning. The Spartans with a pitching change, and we will have a broadcast change. Taylor Stolworthy taking over for a couple innings.
Thanks, Jack. And while the broadcast change to me might not be a surprise, what may be a surprise is that star closer Braden Nelson is going to be making an appearance here in the top of the fourth inning. Now, we know he's got the distance to go a long way. He had a 50-pitch outing going 3 innings last time. He was perfect except for one 322-foot home run by Ben Tutton that tied a game and unfortunately blew a save/win opportunity for him. But Nelson, very good and already a dominant start to his season. And I know that it'll be a bit nerve-wracking for Quincy to go up against one of the best pitchers in the nation last year, apart from Hayden Erb and Michael Paul, easily up there forming a big 3 for the Spartan staff.
Well, I think what this tells you is Joe Urso is hoping we'll limit the damage, keep them at 5 runs because we can come back in this game.
I think as well, because you know you've got a big rest throughout the rest of the week before next weekend. No need to worry about having to worry about, we're going to need Nelson later this weekend in a closing situation. Bring him now, get him in a few innings, and just try to get the Quincy bats to be quiet so you can set up a strong rest of the game. This one's fouled off of J.D. Ortiz, 1-1. He struck out back in the second inning. Here's the 1-1 from Nelson. Just misses that one. A little bit low.
Caney's day ends with 3 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned, walked 2, struck out 2.
Good hitting from Quincy against Caney, and a good start here against Braden Nelson. A sharp line drive that gets in front of Cumbo for a leadoff single. Also have to wonder as well, we see Nelson, we know he can go the distance in games. In a tough spot, he could get called upon as a starter, but we know how clutch he is. That's why, Coach Urs would probably just prefer him to keep him as the team's closer, keep him as the true high-leverage guy in the role that he's the most comfortable in. But 1 on, no one out for Parks. Pickoff attempt, but he's back safely.
I think the only time you might consider Nelson as a starter is tournament time when
I agree.
You maybe have gone really deep to get through a game.
Remember, he had essentially a pseudo-start last time in the tournament, where he came into the second inning, I believe, after a tough start, and he was able to go pretty much till the 7th or 8th, a very long outing, but he kept the opponents quiet as the Spartans, I think, battled back for a victory. Another pickoff attempt, but runner gets back safely. Doskow makes sure it doesn't get behind him. You can tell they're a little worried about Ortiz in the base path.
Yeah, he's not. Well, that's a bigger lead than we've seen other players take. Not huge, but...
He's going to miss this one. It's ball 1. Parks had a single last time out, but was stranded at third. This one's going to be grounded. Earhart takes a weird hop.
That hit the player. That hit the runner.
Oh, yeah. So it actually hit the runner.
And I think he actually helped his team out because Spartans had no chance to turn a double play. I don't know if they'd have gotten it.
Yeah.
But he took away any attempt at a double play.
So the rolling of the field will be a single, but the lead runner's out. So in a way that helps. You'd rather have a 2-out spot with a runner on first than a 2-out spot with a runner on second.
I think
or a first out. Whoops, yeah.
I think had Earhart fielded that, they'd have gotten the force, but it would have been really tough to get the 2.
Yeah. Did he actually make the throw to first? I thought he did. Or did he hold on to it?
I'm not sure. He may have made the throw to first. But then the umpire called out the base runner anyway.
Yeah. Decision's simpler and helps the Spartans in a ways. This one's fouled away. The count goes to 0-2. D'Alessio 2 doubles to start his day. I think in this spot I would not be surprised if we see a Deadly Nelson a slider. To get the strikeout. Ooh, just misses.
How does that not get called?
I think once again we're seeing that right side of the plate. Very batter-friendly. Might have to give him a little sweet chin music in the inside to get a pitcher-friendly zone.
Nice.
Well, that time we'll get him with the slider.
That was filthy.
I'll say maybe you call that type of pitch a striker because it can get a strike in that spot. But we know Nelson, a very deadly off-speed combo with a very good fastball. That's an elite 2-pitch set that can be dominant for a reliever and add a third pitch, and that's a great makings of a starting pitcher. That'll bring up Logsdon. Drew a walk last time. Swings and misses. Logsdon, entering the game, was 3 for 8 with 2 RBIs, leading the team alongside Boynton in that category for average. He's going to whiff again, 0-2.
Seemed like he was behind both of those.
When Nelson warms up, he's certainly an unstoppable force on the mound. And one more pitch can get out of the inning. Well, we'll need one more, as this one will be a foul ball that makes it.
It stayed in.
Oh, it did. It stayed in. Just out of my view, and up there. Now it gets onto the field.
We talk about that because there's a big fence around the ballpark, about 100 feet tall. We are right in the middle of campus. There's 2 main streets down left field and right field. Mostly the one to worry about is left field because it's a heavily traveled thoroughfare, and a number of balls can clear the fence and can startle a passing motorist.
Sometimes there's traffic as well, so you got to be careful. You don't want to have a sitting car that gets pelted by a foul ball that comes from the stadium. Swing and miss in the dirt. Gutcher will make the ceremonious tag to end the inning, as the damage limited to just a leadoff single, 2 strikeouts for Braden Nelson as he opens up likely a long relief stint. We'll be back with the bottom of the 4th. Spartans looking to get back and start to eat away at the 3-run deficit.
And wellness programs.
And we are back at the University of Tampa. Taylor Sorley alongside Jack Ike as we continue the final game of the Spartans weekend series against the Quincy Hawks. E.J. Doskow leading off the bottom of the 4th. He was up in the bottom of the 2nd and hit a 2-run shot to give the Spartans a lead. It would be lost in the top of the 3rd after a 4-run inning from the Hawks. But Doskow might be the spark plug the Spartans need to get back into this one. Takes the first pitch from Kern, ball 1.
We haven't even mentioned there's another game that's going to be played today that's going to have an even bigger audience than what we're getting.
You're right. I mean, it's kind of hard to believe what game could actually pull that, but apparently football is very popular.
Football's popular.
And Kansas City will be facing off against the Philadelphia Eagles. Jack, who's your pick to win that game?
I've always been an NFC fan, so I'm going to go with the Eagles.
I'm going to be a little contrarian here and go with the Chiefs, but also just because Patrick Mahomes is absolutely crazy, as this one gets through for a leadoff single by E.J. Doskow.
I think it's a great matchup, though. I like it. Look forward to it.
Going to be an exciting matchup. The Eagles, one of the best defenses, and a very solid offense led by Jalen Hurts. The Chiefs, of course, not the best defense, but it's done well, and Patrick Mahomes is otherworldly. I've said that watching Patrick Mahomes, you're watching greatness in the making. It's like watching a young Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
That's, I think, the level of skill you see from Mahomes. He will retire, I think, as the greatest quarterback of all time. Even better than our own Tom Brady, who just announced his retirement. Lions gets this one to short. They can't get the force out, so Lions puts the ball in play and gets on base. Alessio, a rough dive, but the good news is, all right on that.
He's worked hard, Alessio has, diving at 2 balls, knocked them both down, but just really had no play because he had to range so far and so deep.
I have to say it's tough for Alessio. He's 6'5" at shortstop. And shortstop, you're supposed to be more of an agile position.
Yeah.
He's got the reach at that position, but so good to see him staying athletic. He has a longer wingspan, but it can be harder for someone that's tall to get to the ground very efficiently.
He did a nice job on both of those.
He kept it from getting the runner to third at least, and
yeah.
That's a big thing. Gutcher takes the first pitch 0-1. A few of his Eckerd friends came to the Friday night game. Was able to get in touch with them. That's actually why I left the room early last time. I went down to talk with one of them.
You left here like you had an appointment.
I did. I was able to chat a bit with Joe Muzio. He's a corner infielder for the Eckerd Tritons. We'll see him and the rest of the team, and they travel to Tampa later. But they were able to catch up with Gutcher after the game. And I'll say they missed having a chance to see Gutcher on Saturday and Sunday at the plate. He had a good day yesterday and gets the call again to start. Now is a chance with no one out and 2 runners aboard in a dangerous spot. If Gutcher gets a little air under the ball and has the wind take it deep, he could tie it up. He's also going to now get ahead 3-1. On deck is Jordan Lala. Well, Lala doesn't have the most power in the bat. I don't think you'd really like him in a bases loaded spot because
he'll
be able to bring some runs home.
Yeah.
He's also 0 for 2 today, but he knows how to put it in play.
Better chance of doing damage.
He's definitely due for a hit. Good backdoor slider fooling Gutcher.
I think he was...
We'll probably take all the way in that spot, too.
Maybe,
Just wait till the 3-2.
Yeah.
But a big payoff pitch. And Kern now over 66, 67. Pitch 68 is low. Ball 4. And you get a couple players stretching in the bullpen. No one actively warming up yet for Quincy, but that change could come soon. And now we see a catcher getting ready, so they will get someone actively warming, a righty out of the bullpen. And here comes the pitching coach just for a quick conference. Won't be a change yet.
Well, bases loaded, nobody out.
That's
top of the order.
That's certainly a bit of a red flag that's waving. You got to take a breather and say, all right, how do we get out of this? But I think when it comes to red flags, it's a sign of drowning for a pitcher. You have getting a bad at bat like there, a lot of pitches, bases loaded, no one out. That's signs of, okay, let's get someone warming up.
Yeah.
Let's get ready to make the change. Kern's had a good day, though. 4 strikeouts. That's his second walk, and he's conceded 6 hits. 2 of them did come off of tough plays on grounders to start the inning.
I mean, Lala is dangerous in this situation for a couple of reasons. He's dangerous with men on. He's dangerous when he's looking for that first hit. Too good a hitter.
Now I'm going to be interested to see how big of a lead Doskow gets. Because if you're Urso, you try something sneaky, you might want to bunt it and see if you can just mess up the infield and let Doskow run home.
Maybe so.
It would be risky because Doskow's not the fastest runner. That's more something you'd see if you maybe had Lala on third and someone else at the plate. But we could see. Now with the 0-1, Lala takes 0-2.
Looking at 2 good down the middle.
Problem is that slider, it breaks so late that it's really hard to react in time. Lala's got the bases loaded. Everywhere is a force out. 0-2 from Kern. That one gets in the dirt. 1-2. On deck is Drew Earhart, who Carson Queso mentioned earlier is the batter he'd least like to face in a clutch situation.
Yep.
1-2 for Lala. This one high and inside. Lala fighting back to 2-2. And Kern now over 70 pitches. Fouled away, so we'll go again. That one I think was going to be a ball, but
he went down golfing at that one.
You have to be careful because that's what looks like a slider that's going to cut across the plate.
Well, I had an umpire once tell me when I fouled one off in a game, and I'm like, was that going to be a strike? And he said, let's just say you wouldn't have wanted to left it to me to make the decision.
Ooh, that's when you know to do the right thing to foul it away.
Yeah.
That one gets low, and now a full count for Lala. And, of course, the pressure here, you don't want to walk in a run.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, also, is walking in a run safer than potentially conceding multiple on the line drive from Lala?
I guess we'll find out here.
The payoff pitch, arguably one of the biggest of the game. And did he go? No, he didn't.
He walked. Wow.
A good checkup there from Lala. Very close. They had to convert with the first base umpire, but Glover says he stayed. It's 5-3 Spartans.
Based on how this game had been going, we were waiting for the strikeout call.
I agree.
Because of where that pitch was.
And by the way, there goes Schissel, and there goes a call to the bullpen.
Yeah.
That will end Kern's day. 3 innings pitched, 3 earned. He's responsible for all 3. He did 6 hits, 4 strikeouts, and that was his 3rd walk.
That's going to be Cruz Meyer, who pitched on
Friday.
Meyer is a 6'2" grad student from Camp Point, Illinois, and pitched on Friday.
His previous outing, Meyer conceded 3 and 2 1/3. He also had 3 strikeouts to no walks. So the question will be, I think they're going to try to rely on his stuff in a spot like this. Still bases loaded, no one out. You also now have to deal with the 2, 3, 4 hitters in this spot, unless you get a double play to ease the damage. Earhart 1 for 2. He flew out and had a single.
See, normally I'll go out and stretch a little bit when you're doing some games. I'm like, I got to hang around here because I think this is going to be one of those games.
Probably want to wait till the top half of the inning to stretch, just so if you miss a home run, it's just going to be a Quincy home run that I know, at least for us as Tampa commentators, we won't be as, oh man, I missed you're not going to be like, oh man, I missed another Napleton home run.
Right.
You will be like, oh man, I missed a Earhart home run.
Though, you know what? For you Quincy fans, you're going to see a bunch of Napleton home runs.
I think so.
Last year.
Throughout the season, yeah, indeed.
This is a nice team. They're ranked 23rd. Tampa's ranked 3rd, so it's a big weekend matchup. But this Quincy team's going to make some noise in the Great Lakes Conference.
I have to say, I hope these two teams can face again in the playoffs. If Tampa can get through the Super Regional and Quincy can get through the Super Regional. Both are strong and a fun opening weekend for Quincy. A fun second weekend for Tampa leading off the season. But yeah, Cruz Meyer back on the mound. I already mentioned the graduate from Camp Point making his second appearance from the bullpen.
Now a base hit can tie the game.
Could even take the lead if it gets far enough.
Yeah.
You've got Lala with the speed on first.
True.
Lions, he's got some speed in the base paths. Gutcher also not extremely slow. He's got a little bit of speed. So wouldn't necessarily say that potentially bunting and trying to get some runners dancing around would be impossible. And Earhart's not too bad at getting those down.
Yeah, he had one the other day.
But obviously, should probably leave it to his bat because Earhart is quite good at hitting. It's going to take ball 1 a little low here. Now, you mentioned the previous at-bat where those calls kind of were strikes. That's another pitch I expected to be called to strike from earlier at-bats, but says just a little low that time. 1-0. Earhart hits this one to third. They get one. The throw home, and he gets him out. It's a double play. The throw was a little high, so he couldn't tag the bag. So he has to make the tag on line slide.
Well, he was going to have to tag him because they took the force off when they got the
they
third.
did.
So, I mean, the fact that he went up and got down quickly enough, I mean, that is your unconventional double play. That was probably the worst double play you could hit into, unfortunately.
Yeah, they had the time to try to get the runner at home, and they did. Safer would have been just trying to get him out at first, but they're able to keep it now. A 2-run game, and now with 2 away, you bring up Urso in a tough spot. Only 1 runner now in scoring position. Urso swing and a miss. He wanted that one.
Well,
but
when Wasman made the tag at third, I looked over and said, it's going to be tough to get Earhart. But he came home.
Yeah,
So
it's a split-second decision, and made the right one that time. That one taken outside, and Urso with a 1-1 count. Singled back in the 3rd inning. He represents potential go-ahead run should Tampa refine some hitting form against Meyer here. This one's going to be ripped into the outfield.
That's going to score Drew.
It will be a 1-run game unless they do send Earhart as well. They'll hold him up. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. And it is a big 2-out double for J.D. Urso.
I wanted him to send him.
I wanted to as well, but I think it was the smartest move just to keep him there. That'll bring up Cumbo now.
Just like he held J.D. up last inning. Drew's like, come on, J.D.'s dad, you got to send me.
Come on. JD's. Oh, you know Coach Ursa would not be happy if he said JD's dad. It's now a 5-4 game. EJ Cumbo. Spartans have already scored 2 in this inning. Here's the first pitch.
I would bet that played a lot into it, knowing Cumbo's up, and also knowing it's only the 4th.
Exactly. That's the type of maybe risky play you make when the 9th inning or very late you really need to capitalize, but you've got plenty of time, and the bat's coming alive here. 1-0 now to Cumbo. Cumbo swing and a miss. That one dropping very low.
We've already had 15 hits in this game. 8 for Quincy, 7 for Tampa.
So again, the offensive explosions continue this weekend. Already 9 runs as well. Would be the 3rd game to reach double-digit runs. Outside 2-1. Napleton can't frame that well enough. Napleton was in left field yesterday, but back behind the plate to form the battery. Now with Meyer, who just came in 2 batters ago. Cumbo fouls this one away. Now it's 2-2. 2 runners on, including a runner at second. And a 2-2 count with 2 away in the month of February. So quite a few 2s in play right here. Cumbo takes, and it's a full count. On deck is Garavito, and he's also not a hitter that you'd envy facing with the bases loaded.
No.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. I know Cumbo, I think, will be happy in this at-bat because he's facing the first righty pitcher of the day. Cumbo, swing and a miss. Meyer gets out of the jam, but 2 runs do come home for the Spartans, and they are only down by 1. As we enter the top of the 5th, nearing the halfway point of the game, Quincy hold the early advantage, but Tampa right behind.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
And we are back, top of the 5th inning. I'm Taylor Storthy with Jack Ike. Jack currently stretching out as we get ready for the top of the 5th. Also stretching and getting ready is Braden Nelson. He was on last inning, conceded a hit, and got 2 strikeouts. Nelson, of course, the dominant reliever from the Spartans bullpen, getting the call here in a spot where, he'd have 7 days rest likely before his next appearance, or at least at 5, as Tampa would get ready for the Maryville series next weekend. But great start to the season for Braden Nelson, a great outing last time against Georgia College, and he's going to get another chance here as he hopes to keep Quincy quiet while Tampa look to continue their comeback. If you missed the bottom of the 4th inning, it was quite exciting. 2 runs came home for the Spartans, but unfortunately 2 runners got stranded, meaning the game remains a Quincy lead. Napleton, Simpson, and Wasman do up for the Hawks. Napleton had a double and an RBI, meaning he's already got 2 RBIs and just 1 hit today. Swung on and missed, going early for that slider. Nice day out here. We got plenty of fans from Quincy and for Tampa this Sunday. I think one of the first days this weekend we don't see the alumni here. Of course, this weekend we are celebrating the 1998 championship-winning side as we embark on the 25th anniversary of them bringing a title home to the University of Tampa. 1-1 now from Nelson. Napleton pops this one up. Should be playable in center field. Will the wind carry? Lala stays under it, 1 away. Simpson lined a double opposite field down the third base line in his first at-bat, and he also got aboard in his second at-bat with a walk. With one away, he's going to be tasked with trying to get Quincy back on track on offense. He's going to foul this one away. It's 0-1, and that one just rolls behind. Will land back in play. Dalton Ross beats the third base coach. Actually, I do apologize. It wasn't Dalton Ross, but number 37, Ashton Pokel, will beat the third base coach from Quincy to get to that one. Swing and a miss, 0-2 now. Braden Nelson looking to get the second out of the inning. This one's going to be grounded to Doskow. They'll pick it up. 2 away. Wassman back at the plate. He's 0 for 1 today. He got aboard with a sac fly, or he actually had a sac fly RBI in the third inning. Part of that 4-run explosion Quincy had to take the lead they currently hold. 1-0 taken outside. Quincy with 8 hits. Wasman and Logsden are the only 2 Quincy hitters without hits so far. That could change, but it won't, as Lyons is able to make that a routine flyout to left field. And Braden Nelson retires the side in order. 1, 2, 3. A duel for the Spartans. We'll see the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Garavito, Nunez, and Doskow. We'll be back with more Spartans baseball. You're watching Tampa Spartans TV.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
So we are back here at the University of Tampa. Cruz Meyer remains on the mound. But for now, let's take a look at a few of the other Spartan sports. Tampa's lacrosse team that went undefeated en route to a national title has had a strong start. Yesterday, they faced Wilmington, Delaware, and won 25-5. That's a very good lacrosse score. J.B. Clark's side off to a great start with that home opener. On the road, Spartans won 3 games. One against Auburn Montgomery, one against West Florida, and a 9-0 victory against Wingate. They beat West Florida in 6, Wingate in 5. So a dominant weekend from the Spartan softball team, off to a great start. Garavito 0-1 after that first pitch.
Basketball yesterday, the third-ranked women.
This one's popped up to center field and caught.
Third-ranked women with a win yesterday over Florida Southern, staying first in the conference. The men lost to Florida Southern. Big weekend, big Wednesday night matchup as the Spartan women go to Eckerd. Eckerd and Tampa are both 14-1 in conference play. 15-1, I should say, in conference play right now. So tremendous showdown coming up Wednesday at Eckerd.
That'll be exciting to see. You can watch that on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Obviously at Eckerd, it will be an Eckerd broadcasting crew, sadly.
Yeah, sadly.
But hopefully they can get a rematch back at the Bob Martinez Center later in the campaign. Well, not too much later. We're reaching the end of the regular season. Nunez now up with 1 away. Taken outside, ball 1. Men's lacrosse faces off against Flagler on Wednesday. You can check that out here at home, whether you're watching Bruce live on Tampa Spartans TV or heading to the Namoli Family Complex to watch the game in person. Nunez is going to rip this past the first baseman. It's a one-out single, and Nunez keeping his hot bat alive. He is now 1 for 2 today. Had a fielder's choice back in the third and a walk in the second.
He's doing what Lyons isn't able to do. He's just getting him past people.
Funny to mention Lyons because he actually has had 2 good plays in the field today.
Yeah.
Although I think one of them didn't count as a hit, sadly. But yeah, pretty much because Lyons had been 1 for 10 except for that walk-off single that he had before. But hopefully Lyons can do better as he's on deck. But for now, Doskow with a runner aboard, 1 away. This one fouls right off of Napleton's helmet, but he's okay. Doskow, 2 hits today, a home run and a single. No, he's only a double and triple away from the cycle.
That's all, huh?
Yep. Not like the triple's the hardest one to get of all of them.
Yep.
Doskow is going to rip this over. Oh! And what a catch by D'Alessio. That'll end the inning. And honestly, you cannot blame Nunez there.
No. We mentioned earlier D'Alessio, 6'5".
That's the only way he made that play.
Yep.
And yeah, you cannot blame Nunez at all. That was an absolutely inhuman grab by D'Alessio, and the Spartans will be stranded after that one. Wow.
You had to be 6'5" to make that play. If you're like other shortstops, 6 feet, 6'1", it gets through.
Put that on SportsCenter. That's all I've got to say. As we enter the top of the 6th inning right after this, Quincy still leading by 1. Hello again, Taylor Sorley alongside Jack Ike, top of the 6th inning, and also Ornaldo running the show from the stream, right here in the booth alongside us. Currently, Tampa trailing by 1, and so, filthy first pitch, getting a swing and miss from Boynton. Brock Boynton so far with a hit and a flyout today. It'll be Boynton, Lewis, and Ortiz, the 6, 7, 8 hitters, due up for Quincy. Nelson had a 1-2-3 inning last time, completing his 2nd inning of work for the Spartans in relief. 1-1 after that one went a little bit low. This one a little bit inside, 2-1.
I went outside for a second. Walk around the stands. There are a number of Kansas City Chiefs jerseys or apparel being sported here.
I've also seen a few Eagles fans around as well.
Okay. I did not see them, but the red Chiefs logo stands out a little bit more.
You know, some of the other Tampa workers and people around here wearing black as well. Tampa wearing black jerseys, so it can be a little tricky to confuse, I think, from time to time. It's usually the Eagles a little darker, harder to see the logo. But they have a really nice shade of dark green on their
isn't that nice?
As well, because green's my favorite color, so it's always cool to kind of see that. But I'm more of a fan of the Jets type of green.
Okay, or the Packers.
Or the Packers, too, yeah. Swing and a miss, and that is another strikeout for Braden Nelson, his 3rd of the game.
And though I am from Wisconsin, I am a Chicago Bears fan.
Ooh.
I'm outnumbered at home by my
Very
wife
much
and
so,
daughter.
I'd say.
Born in Illinois. Grew up a little bit in Illinois, before we moved to Wisconsin. I always said my dad would have abandoned me on the streets of Rockford, Illinois, if I wouldn't have been, at 5 years old, if I wouldn't have been a Bears and a Cubs fan.
This one's going to be lined to left, and will get down for a single with one away here. Lewis converts for his second hit of the game. But indeed, should be a fun game. I think the Eagles will be wearing green, but I always love when I think it might have been more of a throwback, older type of jersey, when you had sort of the Eagles sort of designs with like the black jersey. I thought that was always really cool sometimes. Like, if I was doing the Eagles, I think that's usually what I would try to use in Madden.
Okay.
But also, you know what, I wish that Madden had more of the retro jerseys in game. They do have some of them, but some of the old jerseys, it's always fun to look back and see. First pitch taken outside, ball one. Swing and a miss. Strike one there. Ortiz just under it.
And yet there are some teams that would be sacrilegious if they changed the way their jerseys looked. Packers, Bears have stuck with theirs for many years. Lions. Some of the teams that have been around for many years.
Steelers thinking a similar boat as well.
Yeah.
Others have had some nice rebranding, though. 2-1 here.
Right. Some needed rebranding. I always like the Rams with the horns.
Yep.
So
I will say, I do like the blue and yellow that they've
changed it from blue and white.
Yeah, went
blue
from
and yellow.
Yeah, blue and yellow to navy and gold, which was always nice when they were in St. Louis. But back in L.A., and I might be in the minority of people that like the design, but I do like the new designs that they have. I think the blue and yellow does work well together. And I kind of liked when they had the gradient, too, which I know was actually quite unpopular from fans. But I thought it looked pretty cool in terms of their jerseys. 2-2 here to Ortiz. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 4 for Braden Nelson.
Somebody was asking me, why do teams keep coming up with these one-off jerseys for special games and stuff? I'm getting tired of it, and I replied back to him, and I said, because more jerseys for people to buy.
Exactly. Because after all, if you're going to run the same jersey over and over, you don't have to buy a new one. Just use an old one with an older player.
They need you to buy new stuff, make money.
I know for baseball, you get the City Connect jerseys as well. They were pretty cool last year. Wonder if we'll see a few more this year. 1-0 here from Nelson to Parks. Parks fouls us away, and it's going to stay in play. Parks with a single in the third, fielder's choice in the fourth. That was the play where Earhart got on top of it, but couldn't make the play because, well, he had to make an incredible dive to get to it. This one falls behind for for Gutcher, and they will get the runner trying to get to second.
Nice play by Urso.
Heads up play by both Garavito and Urso. Lewis got a little greedy on the base paths, and that will end the inning. Quincy still leads 5-4, and the Tampa Spartans will get another shot here in the bottom of the inning to try to get that deficit to 0. Due up for the Spartans will be Lyons, Gutcher, and Lala.
This is the University of Tampa. UT students travel from across the nation and around the globe to join a dynamic learning community. There are 150 academic programs, continuing studies for non-traditional students, and a highly ranked graduate school. City.
Jamarcus Lyons leads off for the Spartans, and it will say a very hectic end of the previous inning. D'Alessio, incredible grab, and there wasn't much Nunez could do. He thought that was going to the outfield. We thought it was going to the outfield. Everyone in the fans, even Quincy fans, I think were certain that was going to the outfield. But Alessio made the play and got essentially a free double play out of that.
A 6'5" shortstop pulled that one out.
That is where the height can help. The 0-1 pitch is taken for ball one from Lions. Got on base twice, once with error and once with a single. 1 for 2. Swing and a miss for Lions. That time I think he was looking fastball, but instead was given a slider. Meyer, another solid inning out of the bullpen. 2 hits, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout through 2 innings of work. Good take there from Lions. He's been very disciplined at the plate. He's only had 1 strikeout in, at this point, I think it's 11 at-bats or 12 at-bats. No, 11 at-bats now. No, it actually is 12. He had 10 from the previous game and 2 so far. He's put a lot of the balls in play, which is what you like to see. And that's where you sometimes want more advanced statistics for college level, because he would have better advanced numbers, as this one's going to be driven into the gap. Does it have enough distance? Yes, it does! This game is tied! We were saying before the game we were going to see a few home runs. I speculated one of them would come from Lions. Well, I should have bet on it. I was right. And obviously we do not condone betting on college baseball. But I will have to say, Lions, he has been waiting for that one. A solo shot, and it is 5-5. The Spartans are back. That was hard to tell. Yeah, he was definitely due, but so that was hard to tell because the outfielders, they weren't running too quickly to the ball, but also that probably could have been a sign that that one was going a little farther than it sounded. That's just Lions' 3rd hit of the campaign, and it has left the yard when the Spartans needed it. We are tied at 5 for Danny Gutcher, bottom of the order, but the wind might have helped a little. The Lions got a little more luck at that time.
Put it into the left center gap, and it just kept going.
We know last year during the tournament, Lions had a couple of home runs when he was behind another Tampa great power hitter. 2 home runs in the same inning, 2 back-to-back. I wonder if Gutcher can try to make it a back-to-back jack here.
Why not?
Why not? It would certainly be fun. Gutcher takes this one inside, ball 1. One and one here. That one taken a bit low. Ball 2.
Close, didn't get the call.
Solid weekend overall for Gutcher. He got on base earlier in the 4th. Gutcher is going to ground this one over to short. Picked up by D'Alessio. The throw just in time. Beat him by about a step.
D'Alessio's got a really quick release once he gets the ball in his glove, which you have to have. You can't dilly-dally around at shortstop.
Yeah, 3rd and short, you have to make those quick and hard throws. And he did just that. 1 away now. Top of the order, Jordan Lala back at the plate. Drew a walk, and he was credited with an RBI from that walk. It was with bases loaded. And yeah, we are going to see Schissel coming out to the mound. There will be a call to the bullpen. And we'll see who it is in just a second entering the game.
There he is. He's quick to get out there. Might be Carter Endish if it's 30.
Yeah, if it's number 30, it certainly would be that righty. A junior from Heartland, Wisconsin.
We need him to turn around.
Yeah, it looks like it from the front. We can see on the number. Yep, indeed. Endish previously at Arrowhead High School. We can see really quickly. And indeed, Endish last season, he pitched in 7 innings. He had 6 strikeouts to 7 walks. A .290 opponent batting average. He'll make his first appearance from the bullpen this year. Yeah, as you were mentioning with the Lions home run, we speculated there would be multiple home runs. First game of the year that we've seen multiple. Doskow had the power to get it over the wall previously, and Lions the exact same.
Nice.
Whether the wind helped or not, they were very well hit balls.
Like I said, I walked out there, and the wind is really blowing over the left field wall. Whether those needed help, I'm not sure.
And thinking about it, they probably didn't.
They were
Looked
well
like
hit.
They were definitely well hit. Both Doskow and Lions saw what they wanted. And I have to say for Lions, it's so good to see him getting that because he has been fighting all year with having bad balls in play, just a bad luck from it, going right to fielders making good plays. But he found the simple solution, just hit it hard enough to clear the wall where no fielder can get it.
So Lala is still looking for that first hit. Though he got an RBI last at bat.
He did. He was able to walk in a run. Can't walk in a run here, but we'd like to get Lala on base. And once he's on base, with a righty pitcher back to first, might expect him to get a little nice on the base paths.
Yeah,
a little spicy. Something for the pitchers to worry about. And I think they will as this gets down for a single. A hard-hit line drive.
You see, now Tampa's in a different situation. It's tied. You've made the comeback, so now maybe you can take some chances to get that lead run when you were talking about getting Jordan on first.
Now my question, does Earhart drop a bunt? You got one out. You got a runner on. The infield isn't playing very shallow.
Yeah.
And Earhart can drop it down in a nice spot. I don't think they will, but that's always an idea. Well, he actually did flash a bunt.
Nobody's at second.
No one's at second. Lala's going to get to 3.
Not sure what the mix-up was there, but nobody covered second.
My father would call it a failure to communicate on that play, and Lala is now 90 feet from home. We were saying that Lala was just waiting. He found the right opportunity and advances 180 feet on that play. Now that's a go-ahead run with a very good hitter at the plate. 1 for 2. He had a fielder's choice previously. And this one, unfortunately, won't be enough to bring it home. But if there is a mix-up, there isn't. 2 away.
This time they communicated.
Yep. Better communication. Not as windy, probably easier to see where it went.
Failure. What we have here is a failure to communicate is out of the movie Cool Hand Luke with Paul Newman.
I know my dad will love that reference. J.D. Urso, a single and double today.
The penal system in the South.
Urso fouls this one away. It's 0-1. Urso with the single and double. Just needs a triple and home run for the cycle. You know Urso's got the power and got the speed, but in a spot like this, all Coach Urso wants is for his son to help tie the game.
Hit it fly ball out there or get a base hit.
This one fouled away. It's going to be 0-2. I believe Endish is responsible for this runner at third. He wasn't responsible for the earlier run. Well, obviously he wasn't because that was just a solo shot from Lions.
There you go.
There we go. There's a line drive, deep left field. The diving catch, he'll miss it. Extra bases for J.D. Urso, and the Spartans, for the first time since the second inning, take the lead.
Good try by Lewis out and left. Just missing it by inches.
You have to make the try there because the alternative is a run scores. Urso makes it to second, but at the very least, it didn't get too far away from Lewis. He's able to get on top of it quick enough to prevent a potential triple. And now E.J. Cumbo up at the plate. Spartans already have the lead. They could try to expand it here.
That's 6 runs, 11 hits now for Tampa.
And once again, double-digit run scoring in the game. The third game of the weekend series to do so. 15 runs in the first game, 16 in the second, and we currently have 11 right now in the third.
But it's safe to say in this game, no lead is safe.
Indeed. Tampa's going to need to work hard to keep it. Braden Nelson on the mound, but can he get through the rest of the game? That's a big question. 1-0 here to E.J. Cumbo. Endish steps off just to think it over. Feigns the
that
throw to
little
second.
move like that resets the shot clock or the pitch clock.
Yep, that's what you have to do to get the extra second to think about it. Cumbo pops it up, and that should end the inning. It will. The Spartans, however, will find the lead off a Lions home run and J.D. Urso RBI. Tampa leads 6-5 as we enter the final third of the game. We'll be back with more baseball on Tampa Spartans TV. Top of the seventh here back at Tampa Stadium. I'll be handing it back over to Jack Ike. Ike came out in relief, and Tampa regained the lead.
So I'm responsible for the save now. It's a save situation.
Yep, indeed, a 3-inning save situation. Nelson could be due for a win, which would be great.
That'd be nice.
He's only on 36 pitches. Maybe he has the energy to go the rest of the way.
He's been efficient.
12 pitches each inning, and I'm pretty sure he had 12 in the first, 12 in the second inning he pitched, and I knew he had 12 in the third because he entered this inning with 24.
Ground ball right back to Nelson. Parks is out in one pitch. And by the way, oh no, it was Dasko. Dasko and Lions looked similar there for a second. I didn't know why they would have switched him out, and they didn't. D'Alessio, the 6'5 shortstop, leadoff hitter. 2 for 3 day going at this point. Nelson's first pitch. Strike on the corner.
No RBIs, but certainly Quincy's player of the game made a great play on defense, and he scored twice as a runner.
That's what you want out of your leadoff hitter and your shortstop. Swing and a miss.
That time, Fool with some inside heat. And once you get Nelson warmed up, he is incredibly hard to stop.
Ground ball gets past Earhart, who is leaning a little bit toward the second base.
I'll say that probably was a smart position for Earhart, too, because he has to be ready in case you see a standard pull of the ball from Alessio. You saw Tampa's infield slightly to the left with that. I don't think too much positioning would have helped Earhart a lot on that play.
Twice so far of the 3 hits Alessio has, he's gone opposite field.
Way.
Logsdon to the plate, throw over.
Also doing a good job of doing those pickoffs, trying to make sure Quincy isn't getting aggressive on the base paths. Also, a double play opportunity here.
Ground ball. That one gets by, too. Does D'Alessio go for 3? Stays. Oh, and very close, actually. A little closer than D'Alessio was bargaining for.
Heads up there from J.D. Urso to try to make the tag because D'Alessio did get a little far in front. But he recovered just in time. 2 sharp grounders get 2 aboard against Nelson.
And the one thing J.D. did there, which was interesting, is he didn't get into position to take the throw because he wanted D'Alessio to think he had an easy just turn around and walk back. Oh, hit batter. Bases are full.
I think you definitely keep Nelson on in a spot like this, but we also do see a little activity in the Spartans bullpen. I don't think it's fatigue on Nelson because we know he can go deep, but definitely a tricky spot, and just missing the fastball there. Even the best will sometimes have a bad pitch, and that's all that happened there.
Here comes Sam Militello out of the dugout, though. Situational awareness.
Militello, of course, Spartan legend. We see his number out in the outfield wall, number 22, retired.
Legendary player, legendary pitching coach.
Some good advice for Nelson in this tough spot. Bases loaded, only 1 away. But at least every base is open for a forced double play. And with a one-run lead, the sacrifice hurts a little less than it normally would.
Well, I'll tell you this, and no offense, but if it's a ground ball, Simpson's the guy you want running to first because he's not the most fleet of foot, and they'll have a little better chance of turning two if it's hitting the infield.
Yeah, I agree. And that's the thing.
I saw that Friday night when he had a drop third strike, and the ball went all the way back to the fence, and they still were able to throw him out at first.
One thing I will be interested in, Alessio, not the world's fastest player, but he's also not very slow either. So he could make it to home on a sharp grounder that doesn't turn two. I have to wonder what happens if the ball is put on the ground.
Blocked.
Good job by Gutcher to keep it in front of him on the block, as that would be pretty bad if it got behind him, especially with the runner on third.
And the pitch. That is hit deep. Way back. Grand slam home run. And Mr. Simpson, we don't care how fast you are, because you can just trot around the bases.
Well, just like you, Quincy ordered Subway, and they've got themselves a grand salami to take the lead. Simpson guessed right. And we said Spartans' lead probably wasn't safe.
No.
It's 9-6.
Quickly erasing the Spartan one-run lead. That was hit deep.
Simpson entered the game with no hits. He exits this at-bat with his second and 4 runs batted in.
Wow.
I'll double-check if he actually added to a total in the game. Nope. Those were his first RBIs of the day. But quite a few in that play.
Wassman, nobody on. 1 out. Simpson just ripped that one. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, just that hit again from Simpson. That's just a perfect fly ball. When you're playing MLB The Show, you use a power swing. That's just a no-doubter from the moment you see it.
Simpson didn't need base speed. He needed bat speed, and that's what he got. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fly ball. This is in the gap as well. Left center, racing over near the wall, and that one's gone. Back-to-back home runs for Quincy as Wassman puts it out, and it's 10-6 Hawks on top of the Spartans.
Quincy did their homework on Nelson. It is showing here. It's not a case of Nelson getting tired. It is a case of them finding barrel to ball and taking it all the way. 10-5, a 5-run explosion from the Hawks.
Back-to-backers. 5 runs have come in.
Here comes J.D. Urso, and that'll be Nelson's day. And just a shame, a couple hit ground balls that split the infield.
Yep.
And 2 hard hit balls that clear the wall. You can't blame Nelson too much on those, but it's just what happens sometimes on the mound. Other than that, still looking really good, and he did the distance. He was able to go 3 innings, but unfortunately, Quincy, finally, we're guessing right.
So we'll see who the Spartans send in. It's a right-handed pitcher, I can tell that. .23.
That should be Paul Sullivan.
Paul Sullivan, a right-handed pitcher, a 6'2 senior from Montvale, New Jersey.
Paul Sullivan went 4 2/3 in his last appearance, 4 strikeouts, only conceding 1 run. Now again, earlier you mentioned there would be multiple home runs in the game. We've had a record for a Spartan game this season with 4. And first time, both teams have gotten home runs in a game.
Yep.
Well, okay, first time since, first time in both teams actually have.
Yes.
Because we had only 1 home run from Garavito, 1 home run from Tutton, 1 home run from Cumbo.
Yep.
Then we had, I think it was...
No home runs
no
over
home
the weekend
runs
until
on
today.
Yeah, this week until today. Saving them all for last.
3 of them, I think, benefited from the wind blowing out to left. Simpson just muscled his into right.
Yeah, there was no doubt that the wind would not have helped Simpsons at all. That was definitely going over 400 feet, I'd say. It
was hit hard.
That was clear as day, a huge home run. And I think that's going to be huge for Quincy as well. Tampa has been able to come back from big deficits, but they're running low on time. And if Quincy wins, it will be because of that swing from Simpson. A great hit for him.
Sullivan did appear in one game earlier this year. Pitched 4 2/3 innings, gave up 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned. And he struck out 4, has a 1.93 ERA.
Good start from the bullpen for Sullivan. I believe he actually relieved Caney last time, and he was able to keep things quiet on Georgia College's end up until Tampa made the 3-run comeback to get the victory.
So a lot of fireworks today.
Agreed. If you're a fan of those high-scoring games, you will have had your popcorn out the entire time.
Well, we've had 16 runs scored. We've had 24 hits.
I think Sullivan will be tasked with just trying to finish up this game for the Spartans. You know he's got the stamina to do so.
Boynton will be the first batter he will face. First pitch. Inside.
The two-seamer breaking a little bit too low that time.
Ground ball foul. So no lead is safe, and to this point, whenever someone takes the lead, the other team's answered.
Hey, I mean, Quincy scored 5 runs in an inning. Surely the Spartans could try it too.
Spartans had an 8-run inning yesterday.
So even though the win percentage will certainly be high for Quincy, you shouldn't count the Spartans out in a spot like this.
Strike.
Ooh, filthy two-seamer there. Probably just got the exact edge of the zone to get the count to 2-2.
Ground ball heading out toward Earhart. 2 down. Bringing to the plate, Adam Lewis. He's got a 2-for-3 day going. Strike.
I've noticed for Sullivan, when he takes his little wind-up, he takes an extra little leg movement as he gets set up.
Nice pitch, swing and a miss.
He actually didn't do it that time, but you know, sometimes changing the motion of your leg can be a good way to throw off hitters. My favorite MLB pitcher, Nestor Cortez, likes to do that a lot.
Look good. No strike.
Just held up that time. They had a double check over at first base, but Gary Glover says that he held up.
You do watch Sullivan get ready to pitch. He kind of rocks back and forth. Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. There he's doing it. Way outside. Two balls, 2 strikes now with 2 out. And that'll end the inning. Some damage done by Quincy. 5 runs, 4 hits. Nobody left. We've played 5.5. It is 10-6. Quincy leads Tampa.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can. And then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. we rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Bottom of the 7th we go. And a pitching change for the Quincy Hawks as they send in Chase Gockel, a grad student from Edwardsville, Illinois.
Gockel, previously at Illinois State, he has a somewhat depressing stat line from last season. He had 3 appearances, 3 losses from the bullpen. Well, you know what? With a 5-run cushion, that's the best way you can get rid of the yips in a spot like this. But unfortunately, in a game like this, that's not a certainty. Not indeed. You face the 5, 6, 7 hitters to start out the game.
Spartans fought back, took a 6-5 lead in the 6th, but then gave up 5 in the top of the 7th to go down 10-6. So earlier in the game, the Spartans needed 3 to come back. They did. Now they need 4 to come back.
They already came back from 8, so I think Coach Urso said, hey, guys, we came back from 8.
They've been battling back all 2 of the games this weekend. Nice pitch, call strike to Garavito.
Garavito a little disappointed. He thought it was high. It was close, but I think it broke just in time, right on the top half of the plate.
1-1, fouled off.
Went a little early on the slider that time. That one's a little more of a curved slide, a little more of a slurve with more movement and downward movement. One of the best slurs of all time came from Randy Johnson.
Fouled off. Stays 1-2.
Say fun fact about Randy Johnson.
He's
ever
tall?
since he's retired. Well, I mean, apart from being tall, even taller than the tallest player for Quincy, Evan Margarita at 6'8".
Okay.
He's doing football photography.
Is he really?
On the side. He does.
Swing and a miss. He knew they called it a strike high earlier in the count, so he went after that one.
Unlucky there for Garavito.
Anthony Nunez to the plate.
I'll say a funny thing about Randy Johnson as a photographer. His personal logo, the image of a bird, the one that he had hit with his fastball very famously earlier in his career.
At Yankee Stadium.
Yep. Nunez, a 1 for 2 with a fielder's choice and single.
That one's high. Swing and a miss. Took some off of that. Nunez couldn't dial it down. Nunez as far back in the batter's box as he can get. Foot on the actual white line. That hit him close to the elbow. At least I think he's got a guard on his arm that helped him there. So Gockel with a hit batter sends Nunez to the plate. I was going to mention that with this artificial surface the Spartans have put in, the baselines in the batter's box are permanently etched in, where they used to line it with the chalk, and the batters used to just kind of smear up the batter's box so they could stand a little bit further back if they wanted to, but now they can't dig away at it.
They have to stay within the lines.
Strike call. Some of the batters, as Taylor, you've talked about, want to get as far back as they can so they can see the ball, see what it's doing till the last possible moment. Nice pitch. No balls, 2 strikes.
Gockel's doing a great job of locating that curveball right there, finding the zone with it, and fooling hitters.
0-2. Bloops that one. Does it get down? Coming in quickly. Base hit. Nice piece of hitting by Daskow to put runners at first and second with one out.
Daskow, a 3-for-4 day. Great job at the plate. If the score stays the same, he wouldn't be the story of the game. That would go to one of the Quincy players, but still a solid showing for him. And that's going to bring up another Spartan who's had a great day. He's 2 for 3, and last time he was able to tie the game up for the Spartans. He wouldn't tie it up here, but he could start another comeback.
Get him close. This is Jamarcus Lyons. Left fielder homered his last time up. Into left center. Ball is high. Spartans need runs to get back into this game. In the dirt, nobody advances. Quincy scored one in the first. Spartans answered with 2 in the second. Quincy then with 4 in the third, and the Spartans answered with 2 in the fourth and 2 in the sixth, but then Quincy with 5 in the seventh for the 10-6 lead. Strike.
So definitely a lot of runs scoring in the game, and Tampa would like to respond again here. And they've got a runner in scoring position, a good spot. We also have a double play opportunity.
Strike call. So now 2 balls, 2 strikes to Lyons. Joe Urso calling Jamarcus Lyons out of the batter's box.
You don't always see a hitter coach conference there.
Yeah,
you usually see that for a pitcher.
Him right out.
But a spot like this, I think he's just giving Lyons a little bit of advice, saying what he should focus on. And let's see what he does here.
Steps back in the box. 2-2 count. 2 on, 1 out. Golf set. That's a base hit down the line. That'll bring 1 run in. Scoring from second base is Nunez. Lyons cruises into second, and Daskow on third, and the tying run is coming to the plate.
That's an RBI double for Jamarcus Lyons, and finally, rolling 6 is the perfect luck he's needed. A perfect grounder down the third base line. It scores 1, and the tying run is at the plate. And let me see, I believe it is Nico Saladino pinch hitting.
There we go. You are correct.
So I think they might move Garavito to catcher, and maybe...
I saw Garavito run to the bullpen about 2 minutes ago, so I thought that was odd.
Yeah.
But I guess he's warming up quickly. Swing and a miss. Fastball against the big swing there.
I think a swing like that from Garavito, we wanted to try to tie the game up immediately. Also, the scoreboard isn't right. It currently says 13 runs for the Spartans. That's not true yet.
That's optimistic.
I do appreciate the optimism, but it's still currently 10-7, and now it's fixed.
Okay.
Saladino, great series so far. He's put the ball in play. Had the unlucky line out to end Friday. Let's see if he can convert.
Inside, 2-1. Base hit could get the Spartans within 1 run of tying this game. (2-1). 3-1.
Jordan Lala on deck. He is not the type of guy you want with the bases loaded.
Well, last time he had that, would have had that. We'll see what happens, and he got a walk.
Yeah.
So he did his job. 3-1. Take on or not? Way behind him. And, Daskow thought, should I go? He stayed. Bases loaded for Lala.
If the ball didn't get a good kick off the wall, I think Daskow could have made it. But it did, and it got back to Napleton pretty quickly. And so the tying run on first, and Lala is now at the plate. Little activity in the Quincy bullpen warming up.
A couple years ago, a situation like that, and it was a very close game. Either winning run, tying run on third, and the ball hit it was a wild pitch, hit the bricks behind home plate. Runner scored, but it hit the bricks and bounced right back to the plate, and the catcher just grabbed it and tagged him. Now, since that time, they've put rubber padding right behind there, so it deadens the ball if it hits the...
Smart idea, kind of helps out. But also keep in mind, if a wild pitch goes very far to the left and right, it could hit solid brick.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, that's
that'd be pretty far.
You would need to have a slider that breaks by probably 15 feet instead of 15 inches.
Yes.
There's a mound visit. They're going to keep Gockel in the game here. 1 away, 4 outs everywhere, and a double play opportunity.
Lala last at bat, bases were loaded. He walked.
Second to last, as he actually did get a single.
Second to last, yes.
Single previously. But indeed, last time he faced bases loaded, he was able to bring in a run. And that would be another nice thing the Spartans could have.
10-7. Lala at the plate, the pitch. Call strike inside corner.
Lala shaking his head was like, okay, all right. That was close.
Now I know what we're dealing with.
Yep. Now the inside zone, a little more pitcher friendly.
Go on third, Lions second, Saladino first. 0-1 pitch. Catches the outside corner, 0-2.
Opened up the far end of the plate, and it opened up the inside corner. Makes Lala's job a little tougher now with this 0-2 count.
Does he waste one or go after him? Here's the pitch. Low. 1-2.
That was pretty hard thrown down there. I think he was trying to hope for Lala to see it and think, okay, speed, and swing on top of it.
Yep.
But gets the miss this time.
1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2.
Good take from Lala. He's able to start to work back into the count, back into the battle. A strikeout isn't good in this spot, but it would be better than a double play.
The 2-2 pitch. Fouled off. Stays 2-2. That one goes to Cass Street. Or parts close.
Wonder if that foul ball could have interrupted traffic.
Yeah, I looked. I think it hit the grass.
That's good.
Safe to say. 2-2 pitch coming up. Bases loaded. Way high. We've gone full. 3-2 pitch will be coming up from Gockel.
I'm not sure whether it was 3-1 or 3-2 last time Lala got aboard with the bases loaded. But great job to battle back.
Spartan fans cheering. Gockel into the stretch. The 3-2 pitch. Fouled it off. That one bounces back into play.
Michael Paul will give a delivery for fresh baseballs to the umpire. But that one actually did stay in. Pokel got to it.
We'll do the 3-2 pitch again. Bases loaded, 1 out. Spartans down 3. The 3-2 from Gockel. Ball for another bases loaded walk with Jordan Lala at the plate, and it's 10-8.
He wanted to get that high curveball to land, but it just missed. And there goes the call to the bullpen.
Yep.
Gockel's day is done. He got a strikeout, and he's responsible for all these runners. But now, very tough. We've got the go-ahead run at first, tying run at second.
That was another one of those pitches where you waited because you weren't sure what the ump was going to do.
It's really tough because, and you said earlier, the last time Walla walked, well, that's one you think about. That's probably going to be a strike with how they've called it.
Mm-hmm.
So similar here, very close curveball. And tough for Gockel, but all they need is a fireman to come and put out the danger. Number 43.
Nolan Roseman, a 5'10 lefty, senior, Oakwood, Illinois.
Drew Earhart, lefty Carson Queso. When he was in the booth, I asked him, in a bases-loaded spot in a tough game, who's the batter you'd like to face the least? He said, well, I think Drew Earhart because he's very disciplined. He's very attentive in these at-bats. Mm-hmm. He knows what he's doing. And he's going to have a chance. He's 1 for 4 today. He got on base twice, once with a fielder's choice.
Now, the last time he came up with the bases loaded, he hit into a really unique, unfortunately for Tampa, a really unique double play. Hit a hard grounder to third, fielded by Wassman, who stepped on third, got the force, and was able to throw home to get the runner tagged out from third.
Yeah, 5-2 double play. That's a very interesting notation you rarely see.
This time, Drew will single in 2, and it will be tied.
Hopefully.
I put it out there.
Let's see if that prediction will work.
Yep.
some of our predictions have come true so far.
Well,
one of our Super Bowl predictions will also come true.
Right, yeah.
Either the Eagles or Chiefs.
Though I have no vested interest in. I just like to see a good Super Bowl game.
As a Steeler fan, I also don't have a lot of interest in that game either.
It's
no big hatred for Philly.
And you know what? They talk about stupid questions that sometimes journalists will ask.
Yeah.
Somebody asked the Eagles coach in the media day, is this a must-win this weekend?
No, we can take this loss here. It's not that big for the year.
We're building toward next year.
Yeah, honestly, we split the tie. We tied the game. We split the points. That's all right. Not a big deal.
Earhart to the plate. Roseman on the mound. Bases loaded. Strike call. Lions at third. Saladino second. Lala at first. Earhart can slap one through. We're probably tied. Fairly deep in the outfield.
I'll say these runners are pretty fast. They all can do some damage on the base pass with a ground ball.
That's a fly ball. Coming in right field is Parks. He's got it. Lions will score, and it's going to be a 10-9 game. So Earhart gets one, and we're one run closer and only one run down. And the tying run, Saladino, is on third with 2 outs and J.D. Urso to the plate.
Erd probably didn't want to have the out on that play, but he will take a little bit of confidence in the fact that he was able to help the Spartans bring home the 3rd run in the inning. And now we're once again within a 1-run game, very much in reach with 6 outs to go after this one.
J.D. Urso waits. He hits one to right field. Is it stay fair? I think it's going to bounce fair. It is. We're tied. And the Spartans are going to... No, that's a ground rule double. I believe it hopped over the fence. So
runners at second and third.
Will stay third.
Yeah, Lala will sadly stay third. He would have scored if that only bounced off the wall, but it went behind the foul pole after the bounce. But it does the job. It ties the game, and
about 5 feet fair, and then bounced over the fence.
You know what we said last time about Spartans would be no lead is safe?
Yes.
Well, again, no lead is safe. The Spartans respond from the 5-run top half with a 4-run bottom half, and it's going to be E.J. Cumbo a chance to put the Spartans ahead with 2 away.
Cumbo with 2 on. Swing and fouled off. Now Lala on third. J.D. Urso on second. And a 10-9 game. Back and forth we go. Spartans need one more to complete the comeback.
Actually, they already did. It was an RBI on the previous play, so 10-10. 20 runs in the game.
Jeez. Oof. And 27 hits. 10-10. Spartans can take the lead. Cumbo fly ball. That may fall. That's up there high enough, though, and coming over from left field is Lewis to end the inning. But what a game we've got going here in Tampa. Tampa with 4 to combat a 5-run top of the 7th. 9 runs total scored in the 7th. We head to the 8th. 10-10, Tampa and Quincy.
I pledged.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Top of the 8th we go, and dare we say we've got a slugfest going here in Tampa. 10-10 tie. 10 runs, 14 hits for the Spartans. 10 runs, 13 hits, 2 errors for the Quincy Hawks.
I think this is what you call an instant classic, Jack.
Yeah.
A very fun game between two teams that no vested rivalry between each other.
They played twice in their history.
Yep, and the last time was in
2009.
Indeed.
Spartans won them both.
14 years ago was the last time these teams faced off, and they have given us...
The interesting thing is I looked up the years. They were single games.
Yeah.
They didn't play a series, just single games.
I think after this fun series, both teams might want to have another go next year.
Yeah. Sullivan's first pitch.
Certainly know we'd love to bring Quincy down next season for one of the openers.
Oftentimes what will happen, and we'll see it a couple times this year, is a team will come play one game here, St. Leo, Rollins, and then another team will follow them in. And Tampa will get a 2 or 3 game series,
but just
games
against
with different teams.
Right.
And it looked like that's what was going on back then.
That's what happened with softball this weekend. They were also part, I believe, maybe of like a classic where, the 4 teams kind of played back and forth.
Swing and a miss, a 3-pitch strikeout, and Sullivan is off and running here in the 8th.
Sullivan, his second strikeout of the game. Great start right there. By the way, Saladino at second base. Earhart is playing at catcher. We know Earhart can actually run at the catcher position. So
he's done that in the past. It isn't frequent. But I tell you what, this guy can do everything.
We love it. A good bat and a player who can do everything on the field.
Spartans need another 14 to something game so he could pitch.
Oh, yeah. I have a
bet
feeling
he'd take it up on it.
I have a feeling that he'd pitch a clean inning.
Parks. That one just misses. Parks a 1-for-3 day.
The wind, I think, picking up a little again.
It's been nasty all day. They were showing it at about 20 miles an hour out of the west. Ball inside.
Last season, Sullivan didn't have the prettiest stats at Iona, but the entire pitching staff was absolutely dreadful in terms of that. He was one of the few people with under a 7 ERA.
Oh, jeez.
But Sullivan did lead the team in whip, and he's showing some of those strengths from Iona.
Saladino's going to have to hustle it. Throws it with his glove and gets the out. Knew he didn't have time to switch it to his throwing hand, so he just shoveled it over with his glove hand.
Indeed, great play by Saladino. See, he's been a really nice feel-good story of the weekend. After a tough Friday game with a few strikeouts, he's had great at-bats, and he's now showing off some great defense, too.
Yalesio to the plate. 3-for-4 day. He has had a big day, too. Good day in the field as well.
He's scored every time he's gone to board.
So keep him off the bases.
Indeed. The only time he didn't was back in the 4th when he struck out.
Sullivan, there's that little stutter step you're talking about. Hits it out to Urso. Gobbles it up. Couple steps, throws. 3 down. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. 10-10, Tampa and Quincy on TampaSpartans.tv.
This is the University of Tampa. UT students travel from across the nation and around the globe to join a dynamic learning community. There are 150 academic programs, continuing studies for non-traditional students, and a highly ranked graduate school. AA Division II athletics program.
Bottom of the 8th we go, all tied up, 10-10. Jack Ike, Taylor Stolworthy bringing you a barn burner here in Tampa.
So definitely the game of the series. We had an exciting first game. For Spartans, very exciting second game. For Quincy, it's one probably just skip if you're watching back the season. But for this game, it's must-watch. Incredible offense from both sides and strong pitching performances, too. Got a feel for Braden Nelson up until those 2 home runs. A very good outing from him. Once again, showcasing why he's one of the best out of the bullpen for the Spartans.
Garavito at the plate. We thought he was going to go in at catcher because he went down to warm up. But then they brought in Saladino to pinch hit for Gutcher. But Saladino went to second. Drew Earhart went to catch.
Garavito struck out in the 7th. He was a little disappointed after one or two of the calls was pretty close.
Mm-hmm. Outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We've said about 10 times today, no lead is safe. Spartans proved it again. Ground ball slapped toward first. Logsdon on a couple hops wins the race to the bag, 1 down. We'll send Nunez to the plate.
So indeed, 5 lead changes, 6 with an asterisk because we're currently tied up here.
Yeah, there will be a lead change.
Yep, eventually there will be one. One team will have to get ahead.
Nunez, walk, fielder's choice, base hit, and hit by a pitch. Hits that one down the line. It may fall. Foul. Wow. I was waiting for chalk to fly on that one, but it didn't.
Unfortunately not. The chalk won't fly anymore with the turf, but that's one of the plays it almost would have. Just missed the line, though. It's a shame because it would have probably been a double for Nunez.
Yep.
He's gone on base every single time today. Hit by a pitch, walked, got on with a fielder's choice, and also a single.
In the dirt. One. That one's hit out into center field. Does it get down? No. Boynton had room to get up there and made the catch. 2 outs.
That's where you have a little too much power down the middle, sadly, because it goes right to Boynton instead of in front of him. E.J. Doskow back at the plate. 3 hits, 3 for 4. Did have a double play in the 5th, but overall still a great day. And back in the 2nd, he got all of it.
That was one of the lead changes we talked about. The first lead change. Foul ball.
And I'll say it's great to see Doskow's bat getting back into the swing of things because, again, he was one of the best hitters in the nation at Valdosta State. An incredibly high average, incredibly high OPS as well. Excited to have him as a Spartan.
Outside. 1-1. Popped up. Playable, possibly. Logsdon near the foul line. Now drifts back into the field. Makes the catch. Will go to the 9th. No runs, no hits, no errors. No one left. 10-10 on TampaSpartans.tv.
Well, we'll have the opportunity here.
We head to the 9th. A 10-10 game. Quincy will send up 2, 3, and 4. That's Logsdon, Napleton, and Simpson. There's a few hits in that group, 4 hits, 9 at-bats, including Simpson with a big grand slam a couple innings ago.
Logsdon was a game saver on Friday.
Yeah.
And it wasn't actually at the plate. It was in the field. He caught a hard hit ball from Nico Saladino to end the game.
Part of a fairly tall infield for Quincy. He's 6'4". D'Alessio is at 6'5".
You don't always see those tall players playing in the infield, but hey, it's worked out for them.
First basing, it's
actually very good at first base,
yeah.
You generally do like a tall first baseman, get more reach when you're on the bag to make those plays. But yeah, usually you don't see as many tall people around the base paths. Although 6'5" D'Alessio does kind of get me thinking of O'Neal Cruz.
Mm-hmm. He moves well.
Who moves pretty well, pretty strong, very athletic, I'd say. One of the most athletic players at shortstop. Forms a great 1-2 punch on defense for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Check swing there. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And fun fact, Brian Hayes actually leads the National League, I believe, in defensive runs saved at third base over the last few seasons.
Swing and a miss. Got the strikeout. Sullivan continues to baffle.
That time we saw the leg movement get a little stutter, and what that does is help throw off the batter's timing. It worked that time and gets a strikeout.
Spartans had a pitcher a couple years ago who also had a little hitch in his delivery. And I remember talking to Joe Urso, and they said they actually had to have the umpires clarify that it wasn't a balk before they even started the game. That is hit. Look out. Way back. Way back. Napleton makes it an 11-10. Quincy lead.
Well, there goes one lead change. Napleton's second home run of the series. And Quincy back in front.
So the Spartans will have something to do in the bottom of the ninth.
A little higher stakes this time. A couple Daniel Bryan enthusiasts throughout the Quincy dugout doing the famed yes chant. And they'll be chanting yes because of that solo shot.
Some big hits today. I guess I spoke too early about Sullivan baffling them because the next batter takes one of the first pitches out.
Another bit of the commentator's curse, sadly.
Yeah. Here's Simpson, who hit a grand slam his last at-bat.
Alongside the grand slam, 2 for 3 day. So, good performance from him.
Fouls it off.
Not just fouling it off, he fouled it off himself.
Yeah. Going to walk away.
I think the big thing when it comes to pitcher movements and kind of those little sort of extra kicks, extra movements, you have to be careful of the hand movement. Because a hand movement will be a balk. Mm-hmm. But if you're keeping your hand in the same spot, you can move your legs a little bit and it'll be fine.
Swing and a miss. And another strikeout. Well, what it was the pitcher, when he started his windup, and I can't remember who it was, but he kind of put his foot on the rubber and then hopped.
Ah, okay. So similar
really
to
weird.
Similar to Levo's Carter Capps in Major Leagues, where he had that famous little skip in the rotation.
And it was deceptive, but they checked it with the official, whether it was before each game or got it cleared through the Sunshine State Conference or whatever. There's a ball inside. And it really was deceptive. And the Spartans were playing, and I can't remember if it was a regional game or just a regular season game, but the other team's coach was Jack McDowell, Black Jack McDowell, who pitched for the White Sox.
Oh, wow.
And I think he got tossed out of the game because he argued that it was a balk, and he was not going to give it up.
Oh, it's funny, though. I have to say, because as an umpire, you have to directly argue against an MLB pitcher who's seen pitches like that at the highest level of the game.
McDowell was a great, great pitcher. Ooh, look close.
Very close there by Earhart. Good job to try to frame it, but just misses the outside.
Three balls, one strike. Down outside corner, 3-2 to Wassman, who followed up Simpson's grand slam with a solo shot of his own. 3-2. Up the middle, that's going to fall in front of Lala for a base hit. Hit number 15 on the day for the Quincy Hawks.
By the way, if you look over at Quincy's bullpen, they've been pretty happy to be on the field almost the entire time, just kind of hanging together, and while others have been warming up, especially late in these games, they've been all together.
You'll have to trust us. We can't move the camera, so
yeah,
they're
all, we wouldn't lie to you about that.
They're all standing right around the mound, just kind of having a little discussion. This brings up Boynton, and he bloops one down over the first base bag and going to third. The throw, they had him. He's out.
Wow.
Nice throw.
Saladino with an absolute slingshot that time.
But there was some damage on a solo home run by Napleton. Quincy now leading 11-10. The Spartans will send up Lyons, Saladino, and Lala. They need one to keep this game going. You're watching on TampaSpartans.tv. Last chance for the Spartans. They now trail 11-10. Bottom of the ninth, it will be Lyons, Saladino, Lala. That's 8-9-1. New pitcher in is Brett Panic, and he is a junior from Chicago, Illinois.
Last season, Panic, a 5.40 ERA. He had 5 appearances, 6 2/3 pitched, 7 strikeouts, and 7 walks. So has a bit of stuff, but maybe you could see Tampa working some walks around him. It'll be his first chance for a save since last year, at least. He didn't have any last season, but he also didn't have any official decisions last year.
At the plate will be Jamarcus Lyons, and we might as well mention it. He is a triple away from the cycle.
Spot like this, a triple would certainly be loved by Coach
Yes.
Urso.
Yes.
As he takes strike one.
His
just
last
on
3
that
at-bats, he's singled, homered, and doubled. Bounces away. Would have loved to say runners advanced, but nobody's on.
That'd be a funny rule if you could try to steal first base off a wild pitch.
Sure. Well, that's basically what a drop third strike is. And there was a 55-foot pitch.
We saw that 1 or 2 days ago with someone trying to aim the splitter very early. And, well, only Javi Baez would swing and miss, I think, at that one.
2 balls, 1 strike. Ball high.
I like how I make a joke about Javi Baez, but if he was playing in this game, he'd probably have 3 home runs since he's a very, very good player. And he will be one of the strongest shortstops defensively and has a very powerful bat.
3-1. Does he take?
I think he probably take right here.
I say yes. He walked him. There's your leadoff walk.
And that means the percentage chance you'll certainly love it. Jose Cadenas enters the game, and pinch runner Cadenas. Yeah, he'll enter for Lions, and not a surprise here. You want the speed on the base path. My guess, Saladino bunts, gets the runner to second, and Saladino had a great bunt yesterday. So imagine Wasman will be playing shallow here.
He did come up on the grass.
Have to be careful, though, because Cadenas can't necessarily get too aggressive in the base paths. They've got a lefty pitcher, a lot easier to do a pickoff throw. But Cadenas doesn't need a huge lead. He's got a very nice jump, and he's been able to make it all the way around for first.
Panic on the mound, gave up a leadoff walk. Saladino at the plate. Yes, there's the bunt. They get it down. They go to first and get the out. So the runner is now in scoring position. Wasman with a glance over at second base, but wasn't going to get Cadenas.
That's definitely the right idea. You have a lefty-lefty matchup, not great for Saladino. Drop a perfect bunt, they can't get Cadenas, and now you got a tying run 180 feet away. Well, minus 5 or 6 depending on the lead. And Jordan Lala, great contact guy, tried to put it in play. Last 3 at-bats, 2 walks, a single, 2 RBIs on those walks.
First pitch high.
On deck, you'd have Drew Earhart 1 for 4. And he's also, I'd say, probably due for another potential big hit.
This is the second lefty-lefty matchup with Panic on the mound. 1-0 pitch to Lala. Strike call, base hit. Could tie this one up. Lala didn't like the call.
That was a high slider. Here, a couple of groans, I think, from the Tampa faithful, too, not liking it.
Sounds like more than groans.
I agree. It's been kind of tricky to see the calls all night. They've been helping and hurting both teams. I think it would be unfair to say one team benefited over another in this game because they really have gone either way.
1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Big swing and a miss on a fastball. And the Quincy fans cheer that one on. One ball, 2 strikes. Panic looks back. Fires. Did not get the call. I think both of us were waiting for the.
All I have to say is, we are Tampa fans. That was strike 3.
Wow.
That was, I think, pretty squarely down the middle.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we got groans from Tampa fans a couple pitches ago.
You saw
Del Delcio from Quincy. And there goes the runner. Struck him out. Not sure what Lala was waiting for there.
I think he was waiting to see if it was a ball, but Cadenas, he stole third. He's now 90 feet from home.
Yeah,
but on the previous play,
Lala swinging.
I saw a previous play. Delesio looked flabbergasted out there. He was jumping up and down after that one.
Yeah, Napleton did too, as the catcher.
Yeah, I think deservedly so. That was a crazy play, but that time that was pretty squarely in the zone. Lala just a little too passive in that pitch, but now 90 feet away.
Cadenas on third. He will try to score if the ball gets away from the catcher.
That time the groans, I think, are unjustified. That was a little low.
Yep. Now they're just riled up.
Now the umpires are dealing with a couple angry fans. Now they're kind of hurt either way they make these calls.
Yes. 1-0 to Earhart. Swing and a miss.
The slider had some good bite that time. 1-1.
Spartans need a run to tie the game. 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th. Tying run at third in Jose Cadenas. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Cadenas got pretty far away from the base and then stumbled trying to get back to third, but they weren't able to make the throw. Spartans down to their final strike.
You always have to be careful in that spot because a bad throw would send him home.
The 1-2 pitch. High. Drew cocked the bat and laid off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Both sides trying to cheer their fans on. Cheer their team on. 2-2 pitch with 2 outs. Ground ball up the middle. Delesio fields it. Double clutches, throws. Ball game. Quincy wins. Quincy comes into Tampa and takes 2 out of 3 from the Spartans. And Brett Panic holds on and picks up a save, even though a runner got to third. The Hawks will get out of Tampa. 2 wins, 1 loss. A well-played series, and this was a heck of a game to end the series.
I'll say we started the series with a potential winning run close to or on base and a tying run very close to home, but all it took was one good fielding play both times on Friday and Sunday to secure a 1-0 win in a nail-biter.
So Matt Schissel, Joe Urso just exchanging handshakes out around home plate. Quincy goes to 2-1 on the year. Spartans now 4-2 on the season. Line score for today, 11 runs, 16 hits, 2 errors for Quincy. Spartans are 10 runs, 14 hits, no errors. So we saw 21 runs, 30 hits in the game. We are here next weekend for another 3-game series. It's Maryville coming to town. Friday at 6, Saturday at 3, and Sunday at noon. So we will be back then. Go ahead.
And all I have to say is if you want to see some good baseball, well, Tampa's proven that we have a lot of fun games here at Tampa, so make sure you join us next weekend.
Quincy's got a bright outlook on the season ahead of them as they are a very good ball club.
As I said earlier, hopefully these two teams face each other in the national tournament later.
Sounds good. So for Taylor Stolworthy, this is Jack Ike, Ornaldo running the board for us. We'll see you next weekend right here on TampaSpartans.tv.